Well, it's officially confirmed. Boris Johnson is listening to the British people. A tiny bit of a U-turn on fracking, extracting shale gas. In the middle of all this chaos, we've been warning, we've been trying to tell the government Downing Street to change the way they think about energy and about the whole the environmental issues and the militant version of net zero, which doesn't really work anyway. And so instead of going with the green crap taxes and all the restrictions, focus on two simple things. You could either go to Russia or Iran and beg for oil and gas, like Germany, that's awkward, or extract your own gas in this country safely and build small, safe, and affordable nuclear plants. Simple. Boris Johnson is finally making a U-turn. Fracking sites that have been granted to stay of execution. This is yesterday, as ministers are considering to use them for further research instead of actually completely shutting them down. So that's really good. So they're going to actually look into it properly as well, so that all these concerns that certain local people have on the safety of the fracking sites, they're going to actually make sure that's covered, so that no one is able to randomly create a debate against it. Like, if Starmer or any of these idiots on the Labour Party side, the Lib Dem side, come out to fight against it, they can't really have anything to say. This is quite interesting because of the last few months, even before the Ukraine issue, we've been talking about this, and especially when the COP26 happened, and I've been saying, well, Boris Johnson used to be pro-fracking. What happened, Boris? And luckily, they are now listening, because I brought out the issue of back in 2012 and previously, and straight after 2012 as well. Boris Johnson used to write a lot. This is an article that he wrote back in the day in, I think, the Telegraph, saying that ignore the doom merchants. Britain should get fracking. It's green, it's cheap, and it's plentiful. So why are opponents of shale gas making such a fuss? So this is one of the old Boris stuff that I was complaining about recently, saying, what happened to the old Boris? What happened to the Boris that we voted for? And it's been a bit of a letdown on certain issues, especially when it comes to being big government and green taxes and everything else. This is coming back, hopefully. I'll believe it when I see it, but for now, it's good news. This bit of the article that he wrote back in 2012 said that fracking is glorious news for humanity. It doesn't need the subsidy of wind power, which, he said, I don't know whether it will work in Britain anyway, but we should get fracking right away. So this is finally the Boris that I used to support. And this is why people like Steve Baker, who have been the champions on this issue and fighting against the net zero crazy agenda. And he has actually been also pushing for fracking, and he celebrated this news on Twitter and shared some data and research, especially from America. The estimated Boland gas in place per square mile exceeds the most successful US natural gas shale fields. And this is, again, there's a lot of studies that you can actually use. If any of the dinosaurs and idiots come to you and say, well, no, this doesn't work. So you have to go with the green, well, they don't. It's not even green energy, because they when they talk about wind or solar or any of this, other sources that they're trying to create by forcing you to change your lifestyle, they say green, but there's a lot of things that are green. Nuclear is green. This is green. this is all green, but it's not about being green. These idiots who are trying to force an agenda onto all of us, they are going to start a campaign against this. They are going to start a campaign against nuclear fusion and all the small, safe plants that we could be building in this country, instead of going to China and beg them to build massive, expensive ones that will take years to build. The whole thing, all of it will take time anyway. You have to be patient, but it's better than going to Russia and Iran to beg for oil and gas like Germany. And it's better than completely destroying our economy and people's livelihood just to tell Greta Thunberg and Klaus Schwab that we are now green. We've already made the effort. It's time for India and China to make the effort. We are going to be introducing a new daily show at 6 p.m. today. Every day at 6 p.m. we're going to be doing a show called Disrupt, to disrupt the mainstream media cycle. And talking about the important issues of the day. The current issues is the Ukraine brief. So I'm going to be telling you all the news that either been missed by the mainstream media, or they're giving a bit of a spin or propaganda. We are going to be disrupting them. Subscribe to the channel. I'm my Tousi, and we are the media.